Welcome to our tiny A-frame cabin in central Minnesota. Now, if you're new to the channel, I've got a bunch of different cabins. We've got our travel cabin on wheels that we take all over the country. I've got my bike cabin, which is a little camper that I designed to be towed behind an e-bike. We've got our family cabin up in the North Woods. And then there's this place, which is the first cabin that I ever built and is sort of my sanctuary here at home. It's only 5 minutes from where we live, and I spend a lot of time here off camera, away from the YouTube channel, just sort of replenishing my spirit, enjoying simple living, and basking in the beauty of nature. We are expected to get a snowstorm. It's not going to be a ton of accumulation, but it's just going to be awesome to see it coming down and to take it in right here at the cabin. Dear God, thank you for this time at the cabin. Thank you for snow. Amen. All right. Little grilled cheese for lunch. Keeping it simple because later on today I'm actually going to make a pretty good meal. I've been slacking lately with my cooking and I figured I should step it up today. But first, a little grilled cheese. Some comfort food. Cheese is perfectly melted. I use pepper jack, so there's a little kick to it, and I also put a little bit of everything bagel seasoning in it, which may be weird to some of you, but oh man, does it taste good. Well, nothing to do now but sit and wait for this snowstorm to start. Alright, it has started. I absolutely love watching the snow fall from this particular cabin because we've got these big windows in here. Well, I think this calls for a cup of coffee and then better join Ellie down there. Not sure if any of you could tell, but Ellie got a haircut. I don't get her groomed too often because we just get so dirty every single week out in the woods, but when I do, oh my gosh, she looks so good. And her fur is just so incredibly soft. doesn't get much better than this. I got to tell you about the sponsor of this week's video, and it's one that I'm actually really stoked about. This week's sponsor is Contingency Medical, a company that sends you an emergency antibiotic kit for at home or on the go. This kit has already come in handy for me. I actually was just treated for Lyme disease with doxycycline. I found a bullseye rash on my back on Christmas Eve of all times, and I wasn't able to get into my doctor, but I was able to contact them, and they gave me the go-ahead to start doxycycline, which I had right here in my emergency antibiotic kit. And it's an all-in-one kit able to treat everything from nausea to a lung infection, sinusitis, a UTI, ear infection, and more. Here's how it works. You go online and you fill out their intake form giving a brief medical history. A doctor will then review your medical history and reach out with any other questions they may have. After that, your custom kit is shipped directly to you. And don't worry, each kit comes with detailed instructions for how to use the antibiotics, so you're not going in blind. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you know that I deal with ticks all the time. I contracted anaplasmosis, a tick-borne illness, last year. Ellie recently suffered from Lyme disease, and only a couple weeks later, I was treated for Lyme as well. And if it wasn't for my emergency antibiotic kit, I would have had to wait a few days to get into a doctor to get on antibiotics. And Lyme is no joke. So I am so incredibly grateful for Contingency Medical. So if you want to get your own emergency antibiotic kit, follow the link in the description of this video. You never know when you might need it. Well, the snow stopped actually a little bit over an hour ago, but I ended up dozing off after my cup of coffee, which was decaf. Sorry to all you purists out there. But I think we got to get out and do some stuff outside now. So I want to show you guys something that's pretty crazy. Also, for a lot of you that are asking about this building right up here, this is an old horse barn actually. And yes, it is bigger than the cabin, but it's not better. It's just an empty metal building. So take a look at this tree right here. This thing is absolutely massive, and it was completely uprooted. And if you follow the path of this thing, it leads directly down towards the cabin. And it actually went all the way to like right in there. What's crazy about this is the fact that this tree came down as a result of the extremely wet conditions that we had in the late fall, early winter. It was just raining nonstop here. And that caused some erosion or something. And this entire tree just came toppling down. It wasn't even due to like heavy wind or anything, which is really crazy. So what I did was I came out here with the chainsaw and I cut a lot of this thing up, stacked it all up over here, a bunch of good firewood there for the future. And then right here, I've got all of the branches and stuff, which is gonna be really good wood for our bonfires that we have down here. So this is a deer trail right here. There are tons of them down in these woods. This right here is a spot where a deer has bedded down. They like to rest during the day and kind of hunker down like we did. And so that's a spot where a deer was clearly doing that. Guys, I cannot tell you how good it feels to actually have some firewood just sitting over there. Thank you, Ellie. Usually I'm just like scrounging, you know, going through the woods, finding dry firewood. But right now we've got more than we'll need for a very long time. Look at this baby. Look at this big baby. Yes, you're a big baby. And I love you for it. So I think I'm gonna try to cook dinner before the sun goes down, just so I can see what I'm doing out here. I'm doing a taco dish. It's not a burrito, it's a taco dish using some steak. And we're gonna fry up some veggies in there. So all you really do to make this is you wanna cook the steak in the Dutch oven first, and then you slowly, some smoke there, you just slowly add ingredients into it. So we'll add our veggies, then our refried beans, and then the cheese, and we're good. Now you guys, for the first time ever, I was smart and actually prepped all the veggies ahead of time. So all I have to do is just toss them into the Dutch oven here. Dear God, thank you for this amazing food. Oh, it's gonna be so good. Amen. You guys, this looks so good. Tons of cheese, refried beans. I honestly don't know what it is about Mexican food. I know some of you are probably gonna laugh and say this isn't real Mexican food, and you're right, but this flavor profile is my favorite. Here you go, Elle. All right, cheers to a great day. Man, awesome snowstorm. It's great to be outside by the fire, eat some good food, just relaxing here at the end of the day with a nice fire in the stove, a little whiskey. Life is good, my friends. All right, cheers. Ah, yes. Love it. Good morning. It looks cold out there. Coffee time. Something that I always do is prep the coffee the night before, so that all I have to do is just turn on the stove, flip a switch, whatever, and the coffee starts flowing. There's nothing quite like having a cup of coffee in bed. I used to start my days like this every single day. Now that I'm married and we wake up at different times, or one of us has to take care of Olivia, I have my coffee out in the living room. I don't get to do this as often, so when I do, it's always a treat. All right, guys, that's going to do it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. It felt really good to be back here at the A-frame, especially for a snowstorm. You know, it might not have been a ton of accumulation, but we've really been missing that this winter, and so it felt really, really good. I want to give a special thank you to our patrons who generously donate to this channel. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. But I also want to say thank you to all of you who watch and support us. It means the world, and it's an absolute joy to be able to create these videos for you. Ellie and I are ready to head home and check on the girls. And with that, we will see you next week.